Dr. Radhakrishna, you presented an interesting topic at Glaucoma 360. It was on cannabis. Is it high time? Can you give a synopsis of your presentation?
Absolutely. So cannabis is of high interest to our patients. I get questions about it a lot in clinic, and especially in California, it's been legalized for recreational use last year. It's already been available as for medical marijuana use for a while before that, so we do get a lot of questions about it. So in a nutshell, cannabis does lower the intraocular pressure, but it is for a short duration, about 3 or 4 hours. There are a lot of issues about the regulation of the product, so it's not, the production process is not standardized. There's many different kinds of cannabis products, so we really don't know the dosage of what somebody is using. So we do not recommend it for glaucoma because of the short duration of effect, the fact that it's unregulated, and we have a lot of good treatments which have no side effects pretty much systemically and can be used just once a day. And there are also other health risks with the use of cannabis. So basically right now the Glaucoma Society and the American Academy of Ophthalmology both do not recommend it to be used as treatment for glaucoma.
Do you see a lot of your patients in states like, well, not you're in California, but in a lot of states across the country, especially with the rising cost of drugs, do you see a lot of patients turning to cannabis?
Not really for that reason. The people who are asking me about it are those for whom standard drops or surgeries have not worked well, or if they've had side effects, or surgery has a high risk. They might be a monocular patient who's failed surgeries, or the fellow eye had some complication by which they lost their vision. So typically that's the kind of person who's asking me about seriously considering marijuana. I do get a lot of questions. I call them more the casual interest. End of the visit, they'll say, oh, by the way, what do you think of medical marijuana? And with those people, by the time I tell them that it lasts just 3 or 4 hours, they're like, oh, I can't do it. So most people are not, I feel, guided by the cost, is what I'm seeing in this state anyway. But there was a study at Washington, D.C. where they did a survey of glaucoma patients, and they found that people who were not if they were not worried about the cost of treatment, they were more likely to use marijuana, in fact, because there is the cost of getting the drug too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now you see, there's more and more states are passing laws, at least for minimum beyond recreation, like for medical. Do you see? What do you tell clinicians out there when they are approached by patients who think that this is an opportunity, or not an opportunity, but an option for them for their glaucoma?
So I emphasize that they should, do patient education and talk about mainly the cons right now of using marijuana as a long-term treatment for glaucoma. The short duration, the risk of, side effects to the brain, risk of addiction. We don't have any of those with the drops that we have right now. So I emphasize that it's not recommended for long-term use. But they also have to be mindful of the law. It is against the federal law. And in fact, in our state, in California, the Medical Board of California states that if you write a written prescription for marijuana, if you give a written prescription for marijuana, it could trigger federal action against you, although the medical board will not go after you. But you have to be very mindful of that balance. And with different administrations in the federal government, you don't know how they are going to approach this issue.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate your time.